So I came across something interesting online concerning Warner Brothers, and it seems like Warner Brothers Discovery might be getting out of the gaming business sometime in the near future, or they're at least contemplating on, cutting a part of their games division, considering how much money they lost with, the Justice League game that came out months ago. That game was a massive flop, and it cost the company $200 million in revenue. And you have the Mortal Kombat One game from 2023, which came out back this past fall, and that game sold roughly over 3 mil. And even though there's been like multiple DLC characters added to that game, I don't think it's done anything to necessarily boost the sales numbers or anything like that. And all this stuff is obviously costing Warner Brothers, money and all that. And it's quite possible that Warner Brothers Discovery is trying to cut their losses. I'm not exactly sure about them trying to get out of the gaming business altogether, but it wouldn't surprise me considering the fact that stocks for like gaming has been plummeting all across the board, which is something that I actually made a video about previously with Nintendo, with Sega, with Square Enix, with all these high profile, video game developers. It seemed like their stock has dropped a lot, and I feel like a rough economy is one of the reasons why, along with the fact that less people are just interested in gaming nowadays. The cost of gaming is way too expensive, and yeah, like for the most part, it just seems like video games don't have the lasting appeal that they once did. And um and I think for the most part, people kind of see what's up with video games. Like you normally, like when you get like a brand new video game, unless it's like an action adventure or RPG that has everything in it, it's normally incomplete, and there's always like DLC content that you have to buy. Which games were not like that. Back in the good old days, like the '80s, '90s, early 2000s. But I feel like that's one of the reasons why like video games nowadays has lost its appeal. And you look at Warner Brothers games, they own IPs like Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, and Batman, Suicide Squad, all that stuff. And I really feel like Warner Brothers games really screwed themselves over when they killed off Batman and in the Suicide Squad game, because you look at like the teens decade. One of the reasons why Warner Brothers made massive profits, during that decade was because the Batman games, because the Arkham series, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight. And then towards the late teens, it seems like Batman's popularity had declined. Spider-Man became like really popular, especially after 2018 when Marvel's Spider-Man came out for PS4, and I think that did 20 mil. And I don't think there's been a Batman game that Warner Brothers Games has made that's been able to, I guess, match that in terms of commercial success. And and honestly, it wouldn't shock me if that were the reason why they decided not to make another Batman game, because for the longest period of time, we've been waiting for a sequel for Batman Arkham Knight, but instead we got Gotham Knights and we got the Suicide Squad game and all that other stuff. And and honestly, it makes me wonder whether or not we're going to get an Injustice 3 at all in the future, because that's another big game that people have been waiting forever to see. But, you look at Injustice 2, that was a game that it didn't sell as much as a lot of people feel like it should have. I think it did like last time I checked, which was like weeks ago, it was like over like 1.5 mil or something like that. But Injustice, the first and second Injustice games, I feel like they were both very interesting, and it was something pretty cool that they did with the Justice League in relation to video games, because just about everything else that's a Justice League video game is something that people either don't remember, care about, or it's just something that's whack altogether. But but yeah, a lot of people were looking forward to seeing a sequel to Injustice 2. And if Warner Brothers Games is really looking to get out of the gaming business, that might never happen. If they're looking to reduce like their workforce or cut like, a fraction of their staff members, like, what most gaming developers have been doing as of late, then that's something that I totally understand because you got to compensate for those losses in some way, shape, or form. But it'd be a damn shame if Warner Brothers just decide to pull out of the gaming business altogether because we need more diversity and creativity and all that stuff within the gaming community and within the gaming industry. But at the same time, it's like the economy looks like it's going to get worse. There's been rumors about a potential economic collapse a little bit later down the line. A lot of people, including myself, are hoping it's not true, but all the signs are there. The signs of a recession are already there as we speak. And again, you just have to do what you have to do to try and survive these tough times. There's some video game developers who are looking to just get out of the gaming business altogether, liquidate their assets and all that. But but yeah, I mean, this is more just, unpleasant, news that I've read about, and I'm hoping it's not true. But seeing that it was a report from the Financial Times, I don't think that this is necessarily a rumor or anything like that, and that this is something that that doesn't end up being detrimental to like to anyone or anything like that. And I believe there was a report that said that the idea of, I guess, them selling off games would help the company to avoid, possible lawsuit from various debt investors, and nothing's been finalized and all that other stuff. But I don't know, like, all this stuff in regards to Warner Brothers Discovery is something that I don't think any top executives has come forward about and spoken on it or commented on it or anything like that. But all this stuff, it does not surprise me, and I do feel that Warner Brothers Discovery has to do whatever they can to kind of stay out of trouble, and them being in debt is something that I totally believe because you just look at like the investments they've made and how much they've made in comparisons to how much they've invested, and it's like I don't know, the whole thing is just a mess for the most part. And um and I doubt the situation with Warner Brothers Discovery could be anything worse than what Square Enix is going through, because Square Enix has it rough too. Their last couple of games, like Final Fantasy 16 and the other RPG that came out. Those games cost the company a lot of money, and they had to cut, I believe, a fraction of their workforce, and they lost a ton of money and all that. So yeah, it's like it seemed like 2023 was a great year in relation to gaming, at least for releases and all that stuff. But at the same time, you had all these job cuts happening, and a lot of people being let go, and workforces being reduced, and all this other stuff. And I feel like from like 2022 to 2023, um, or at least the last couple of years for that matter, it's just been a lot of stuff going on within the gaming industry. Like we got another SAG after strike, going on, like another video game strike going on. This is like the second one that's happening right now. And there's also been like a lot of stuff going on with video game developers in relation to like harassment and sexual harassment and all that stuff, whether it be Ubisoft or whether it be Activision. It just seems like a lot of like negative things have been going on with the gaming industry, and it seems like the only positives have been just video game releases overall. But there are people who would go on record and tell you that it seems like the negatives have outweighed the positives in some ways. But I don't know. It's just that when you get older, you look at things differently. So you kind of look at gaming in a different light. Gaming is not as fun as it used to be because even when I was younger, I don't remember there being this much controversy in relation to like, anything, layoffs and stuff going on in the corporate offices or anything like that. So so yeah, this whole thing with Warner Brothers Discovery is crazy. Not necessarily surprising, but it's a damn shame that the Suicide Squad game is one of the main reasons why Warner Brothers Discovery might be looking to get out of the gaming business, and it's a damn shame that we're unlikely to get a sequel to Batman Arkham Knight or Injustice 2 for that matter, because those are games people have been wanting to see for quite some time. And I don't know. I just feel like this is an unfortunate trend in gaming that's going to continue with multiple developers and multiple publishers as time goes by within the next couple of years or so.